Good morning, everyone. My name is Camila Beni. I'm the program manager of Smile Training here in Brazil. And I'm really glad to be here today and share what we're doing when it comes to nutrition in our country. So let's start. We all know that nutrition is key to the development of any child, and CLAP patients have more difficulty to gain weight. And this impacts not only their treatment, but also their lives now and in the future. With that in mind, Smile Train is focusing on this topic this year to bring awareness to our partners and parents, but also to ensure that our patients are receiving the adequate nutrition care that they need and deserve. And as a consequence, they will be fit for surgery. Smile Train Brazil, we created here a strategic plan focusing on awareness and treatment. Our short goal is to show partners the importance of nutrition and their need to have nutrition professionals trained at their centers, provide training, and also ensure that partners have the necessary equipment to assess and treat patients in nutrition. And our long term is to increase the number of patients treated in nutrition and at our CLAF partners. Here you can see the strategic planning that I was talking about. I'm not going to go through all of the items, but I want to highlight some of them. First is the presentation that we had for partners in December to start talking to them about the importance of nutrition. Second is the research that we also did in December. And the aim of this research was to understand the reality of each of our partners when it comes to nutrition treatment at their centers. Since Brazil is a really big country with many different realities, it was important to us to understand where each partner was when it comes to this topic. Another one was the nutrition manual that we created, the online workshop that is taking place at this moment. And last is the posts and tutorials that we are giving to parents through social media. So what are the impacts so far that we saw here in Brazil? In March, we had the National Nutrition Week. So we used that week to give as many content and information to parents as possible. And this would also bring awareness about this topic. So during that week, we have many activities through social media. We have 2 live events, we launched 2 tutorial videos, and we launched also the free manuals on nutrition and many other activities. What was the impact of that week? Well, as you can see here, we saw an increase of 156% in the interaction through Instagram stories on our Instagram stories. We have 52 increase in the engagement comparing to the week before. And more importantly, we have parents posting on their social media about the content that they learned during that week, as you can see on the slides here. Another thing that we had, as I mentioned, was the nutrition manuals. So when we had the research on the seminar with partners, what we noticed is that our partners were in need of additional information on 3 main topics: breastfeeding, introduction to food and post-surgery feeding, and measurement. What we learned is that partners were having difficulty to ensure that all the information that they provided at the parents at the class centers, their parents were actually remember them and be able to use at home. So what we did was we created those free nutrition manuals in partnership with our nutrition advisor, her team in our partner center in Bauru, and also with the coordination of 2 BMAC members. So those manuals were made for the parents. with that in mind, we had a lot of images, we have accessible languages, and also we use really bright colors too. All of this to make sure that it would be easy for parents to read this manual and put the information in practice. So the idea of this manual, of all of these manuals, is once the parents go through their consultation at the CLAF center, the professional is going to give them those manuals. With that, what we're going to have is parents having the correct information to use, parents feeling empowered on how to correctly treat their child. Our partners will be at ease knowing that the parents have correct information at all times while they are at home. And more importantly, our patients being treated accordingly, which ensure their development. All Smile Train partners here in Brazil are receiving these manuals as we speak. And they're also going to be available at all times to them to print when they need it. It's important to finish this part mentioning that these manuals are available to be translated to other languages as Smile Train see fits, making sure that other parents in other countries and regions are also having access to this information. On the research that we did on December, another thing that we noticed was the need of training to our professionals from our centers. So with that in mind, Smile Train here in Brazil, we developed a workshop on breastfeeding, introduction to food, and post-surgery feeding and measurement. What we learned on the research that we did was that the professionals from our partners, they were all already from the nutrition field, but they're lacking a training that would focus on craft. And they also informed that they needed practical techniques to put at use on the daily basis at their centers. So with that in mind, our aim was to create a practical workshop, practical as possible, but also without forgetting the theory too. This online workshop was made by Smile Train Brazil in partnership with our nutrition advisor and her team from our partner center centered in Bauru. Since we also wanted to use the content of this course, of this workshop in other times as well, we recorded all the content. So whenever we need, the course is ready to go for us to use again. And this course is currently taking place at this moment, and we have over 300 people participating in it. And we are receiving great feedback so far. So how this workshop works? Well, we divided it in 3 days, having 3 models in total, 1 model each time. First, the participants watch the video, and afterwards, we have a live discussion with the professionals of each module. The duration of the course of this workshop is about 2 hours per module. And also I want to finish this part mentioning that this workshop is also available to be translated or added subtitles to other regions as well. And you can see here on the pictures, on the slide, I apologize. On the slide, you can see some pictures of when we are recording this workshop. And on the other side, you can see some participants that posted on their social media while doing this workshop with us, showing us great feedback and how excited they are about it. Another thing that was really important to us was to make sure that our partners have all the necessary equipment that is important to assess and treat CLAF patients when it comes to nutrition. So what we did is we asked our nutrition advisor to create a list of all the minimal required equipment and materials needed that every craft center should have on their centers. And this is the list that you can see here. And then we started to reach out to our partners and ask them to check if they had all those materials and equipment. And if they don't, we would assist them, giving them a grant so they could buy it. And how we are on this at this moment? Well, here in Brazil, we have 41 partners in total. From those 41, 29 already asked for a grant to buy this equipment. Four of them are in the process of doing this right now. Another 4 of them informed that they do not need it because they already have all this equipment and materials at their craft centers. 2 of them are partners that do not treat patients at their centers, so they do not need to have this equipment there. And only 2 of them, we didn't have any feedback about this. So it's a great win for us. Here you can see the images of the materials that I just talked about. Another information that is important for me to share with you is that we created a WhatsApp group with the nutritional professionals of our partners and our nutrition advisor for them to be able to interact directly and share protocols, experience, answer questions, etc. And it has been a great tool for us. Another thing is that we are doing a research here in Brazil on nutrition with 9 partners of ours. We also are starting a pilot project at the Amazon states that you can see on the map here as well. And this project aims to provide awareness and train professionals that are not part of any craft center. Those professionals work at maternities, health community centers, so they are the ones that receive the cleft patients first before this patient goes into our partners, which are the reference cleft centers in Brazil. Also, we are analyzing another areas that we want to develop projects. Just to mention one, we are analyzing at this moment a project aiming to reach the indigenous communities too. And I want to finish this presentation saying that we are already seeing a change in our partners. Many of them are understanding the importance of nutrition, and they're improving and they're putting efforts to improve their centers in order to assess and treat their patients in nutrition as well. That is it for now. Thank you very much, and I'll be joining later for questions.